no matter who you are, how savvy you are, and what you do on the internet, there is no avoiding fake content and fake traffic, and even more so.
When you watch, say something cringe, say something that pisses you off, I would say most of the time it's just fake. It's a skit meant to piss you off. It's a skit meant to be cringe. I haven't watched anything about the dead internet theory. Let's watch it.
By the online personal information removal service, Incogni.
The metal pipe is out of stock?
Information from data brokers and search sites.
I removed the
Use
metal
my link in the
pipe.
description
Metal pipe is too loud.
Incogni's annual plan. On Tuesday, December 15th, 1970, Season 2, Episode 12 aired of the comedy sketch show Monty Python's Flying Circus. The title of the episode was Spam. In the episode, there is a sketch, also titled Spam, in which a husband and wife are lowered on wires into a cafe filled with Vikings. Once sat, the husband and wife ask the waitress about the meals available at the cafe. The waitress proceeds to describe each menu item to the couple. Nearly every item has the canned meat, Spam in it. Some dishes are just Spam.
Everything's out of stock? I probably just need to turn them back on. They might just be off.
With multiple sides of Spam. Spam, 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 egg, and Spam. One dish is described as. When the woman customer declares that she does not like Spam and she wants a meal without any, the waitress denies her request, and suddenly the Vikings around them begin to sing. Spam, 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 lovely Spam, wonderful Spam. The interaction devolves further and further as the Vikings' chants and waitress's screams in support of Spam increase, droning out the conversation into indiscernible absurdity. Then, the sketch essentially ends, and the customer, we can reasonably assume, does not get a meal without Spam in it.
Isn't Spam just a hot dog, but like in its pure form? That's what I've always seen it as. It's just it's just hot dog meat that you can do stuff with.
Although this Monty Python sketch had nothing to do with media or the internet, it would strangely and powerfully foreshadow forthcoming conditions of media and the internet, and it would ultimately lead directly to the term Spam being used in internet vernacular. In the context of media and the internet, the term Spam broadly refers to excessive, irrelevant, unwanted, insincere, or repeated communication or content. As a result of the Monty Python sketch, in the 1980s, in early online chat rooms, message boards, and virtual games, users would repeatedly type Spam along with other quotes from the Monty Python sketch in order to knock the text of other unwanted users or competitors down and off screen and gatekeep discourse. Around the same time,
gatekeeping in the
Spam
80s
would also come to be used to refer to the
Wait, there was gatekeep girl bosses in the 80s?
And excessive posting of the same messages on file and message sharing networks. Of course, it only helps and is all the more fitting that Spam, the canned meat, is highly processed and unhealthy, high in calories, fat, and sodium, and low.
All right, that's debatable. That's debatable. All right.
Since the 1980s, media and the internet have, of course, evolved tremendously. Between 1981 and 1989, the number of hosts connected to the internet went from hundreds to hundreds of thousands, with an increase from 80,000 to over 160,000 hosts in 1989 alone. Also in 1989, the World Wide Web was created, which, for the first time, made digital content easily reachable and shareable for the average consumer. By the mid-1990s, there were over 100,000 websites on the web. Around 40%.
Dude, I don't even think I had a computer until like 2000 and something.
Of American households owned a computer, which was just 15% a couple years prior. Suddenly, new opportunities for connection and creativity abounded. For the first time in history, individuals could easily message people across the world in chats, publish and share their art and homemade videos, create digital profiles in digital stores, purchase and download things like movies and books, order physical goods to be delivered to their home, and innumerable other unbelievable and world-changing acts. Now, as of 2024, it's estimated that around 70% of the global population owns a smartphone. That's roughly 5 billion people. It's also now estimated that there are well over 1 billion websites, and the average person currently spends around 6 hours and 35 minutes online every day.
Okay, those are rookie numbers. Am I right, chat? Come on. 6 hours a day? That's it? Wow. All right, come on. Well, you got to get in the double digits before you start actually, you know, being an actual fucking loser like me.
Needless to say, the internet and internet devices have fully consumed us, and the conditions of the internet are crucially important to the human experience.
Oh no.
Of course, along with new opportunities for the distribution of enriching things on the internet, so too have new opportunities for the distribution of problems and hazardous content evolved on the internet.
That's like 90%
One of
of
which
content.
is spam and spam-like media. For the sake of clarity, spam and spam-like media here includes anything from unwanted emails all the way to digital content that unreasonably
Dude, emails, bro. Like, emails are just actually straight spam. Like, unironically. Does anyone even get real emails anymore? Like, anybody. I actually can't even think of, like, an actual important email that I've gotten. Unless it's like a sponsor email, but that's work, right? Like, you don't get anything but spam. Like, and it's not even like a little bit. It's like 500 emails a day of shit that I didn't even sign up for. Because anyone can just take your email and sign it up for shit. It's so stupid.
exploits, platform algorithms, automation, and/or excessive posting, often for the sole purpose of views and engagement.
Well, yeah, work and bills. I mean, that's pretty much it. But it's still flooded with spam at the same time.
The problem of spam might appear somewhat trivial at first, especially when considered against much darker activities and possibilities on the internet. But the increasing development and thriving of spam-like media points to a deep, holistic problem about the current architecture and future of the internet and humanity at large. The internet, in its current form, does not merely have spam on the menu. The menu is, in many ways, increasingly that of the Monty Python Cafe. All menu items on offer seem to contain spam in some form. And worse,
Yo, they got chorizo spam and jalapeno spam? What the fuck?
our palates seem to be increasingly burnt and numb by this to actually desire it, to enjoy less and less of the nuanced flavors that we previously did. As both creators and consumers of media, many of us seem to want quicker, easier, and more processed content, which often doesn't challenge or require much of us, and we are
True.
increasingly willing to ignore the intentions and consequences of said
TikTok and shorts, bro. TikTok and shorts. And it just keeps getting shorter, man. It just keeps getting shorter and shorter.
content.
We want everything bite-sized and
Inspired
bland.
and led by philanthropic beasts, herds of Viking creators chase
You know, I've always wondered why. Fire Person, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I've always wondered why bland people do extremely well on the internet. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna name any names, but like very bland, cut and dry, not much to them. Just they're that and that's it. No like changing nothing. Just that gray mass of just content, and it always works. And they do amazing. I've always wondered that. And it kind of makes sense. Like, people just don't want creativity. They don't want uniqueness. They just want the same shit over and over. Like me, for example. You guys watch me all the time, every day. You wake up, think about me. Go to bed, you think about me. All right? All day, you're just thinking and watching me. Right? Right, chat?
watch time as audiences welcome the pillaging with eager eyes. There is a theory about the internet that has recently garnered increasing notoriety, largely as a result of the mainstream introduction and popularization of generative AI. The theory is known.
I have told my therapist about you. Why? Why? How much I've helped you? That's probably what it is. Probably what it is. Yo, there's this one dude, you know, honestly, I don't even need you anymore, therapist. See, I found this one Twitch streamer, right? And he's better than any therapist I've met, right? And he's free, unless you subscribe. Wink, wink.
As the dead internet theory. The origins of the theory primarily trace back to an anonymous thread created in 2021 on the Agora Roads Macintosh Cafe forum. Its origins, specifics, and conspiratorial nature are rather questionable, but the broad sentiment, at least now, feels somewhat valid. Putting aside the conspiratorial and paranoid claims of the theory, most broadly, the theory suggests that most online activity is fake in some way, either bot activity or AI-generated content created and curated by algorithms.
Dude, that's getting worse and worse every day with the AI content.
Because of this, according to the theory, the internet, as a source of unbridled human activity and flourishing, died somewhere around the year 2016. In that same year of 2016, a cybersecurity company by the name of Imperva, in fact, did find that bots, or software applications that perform automated tasks without human intervention, accounted for over half of all online activity. They also found
Twitter? Fucking X and Twitter, dude. I'm telling you, like 90% of that shit is just rage bait AI bots. Like, it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
that around 30% of website visits likely came from bad bots or programs designed to carry out harmful actions like theft and hacking.
Are you a
The
bot?
other roughly 20% of bots, however, were found to be good bots, or bots that help monitor and upkeep
Maybe.
aspects of the internet. This was nearly 10 years ago. We can more than reasonably assume that those numbers have gone up since then. Of course, these percentages include the entire internet in all corners and pockets, so it's not necessarily the case that the majority of the content and websites you personally consume and visit are fake, assuming you engage in reasonably well-curated and stable websites and platforms. But the point is, no matter who you are, how savvy you are, and what you do on the internet, there is no avoiding fake content and fake traffic, and even more so,
Dude, fake content is getting worse and worse. Not even in the AI element of it, but like the fakeness of people. Like when you watch, say something cringe, say something that pisses you off, I would say most of the time it's just fake. It's a skit meant to piss you off. It's a skit meant to be cringe. Like gone is real, authentic, cringeworthy stuff, right? It's all gone. It's all replaced by people trying to be cringe, ironically, right? And same with people who piss you off. Now they're just doing it because they know it gets clicks. Crash my car for views. Exactly. Like that one idiot. That one fucking
there is
loser.
certainly no avoiding spam-like content. This year, in 2024, Jack Conte, the founder and CEO of the creator monetization platform Patreon, gave a keynote at the conference South by Southwest titled Death of the Follower and the Future of Creativity on the Web. The focus of his presentation was primarily on the development and effects of algorithmic feeds on social media and content distribution platforms. Specifically, Conte's argument is that major platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok have moved primarily into algorithmic ranking-based content distribution feeds and away from follow-based feeds. In other words, internet...
Yeah! Why? Yeah! And it's just fucking annoying, bro. 900,000 subscribers and my channel's fucking dead because none of my subscribers even know that I post anymore. I mean, also my channel sucks and my videos suck, but that's different. It's so stupid because now it has zero to do with making content for your audience and all to do with making content that'll get you recommended. It's algorithmic, all of it. Like, it's so fucking stupid. Like, don't get me wrong, people still watch me. Like, some of my subscribers watch me, but subscribers have not mattered for so fucking long. And it makes it so much more difficult to be a YouTuber and a content creator. Because whenever you make videos, you aren't making videos for your audience anymore. You're making videos in order to appease the algorithm. And if it doesn't appease that algorithm, your subscribers don't see it. Dude, when I get a video that gets recommended and gets a lot of views, like so many comments are like, oh my God, I didn't even know you still posted videos. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. There are so many comments saying that they're surprised. Wait, I haven't seen you in so long. You still post videos? Because if my videos don't break past the algorithmic wall, then a lot of my subscribers just don't see it. And it's so stupid how that works.
Internet content is
it makes sense in the context of the internet, but it's still fucking annoying.
distributed based on computer algorithms that rank content using metrics of engagement like watch time, and not based on people selectively and intentionally curating what is shown to them based on who they follow or subscribe to. As a result, according to Conte, this has caused content creators and their audiences to become increasingly pulled apart. In my opinion, Conte says, the follow is not some handy feature of a social network. The follow is foundational architecture for human creativity and organization. With the follow becoming less central to content distribution, content creators increasingly need to create for an algorithm rather than for a clear audience or fan base. Conte
Which
says,
is annoying.
For the first time since Web 2.0, my followers might not necessarily see my posts, and the idea of a subscription started to break down. If a person doesn't receive the thing I make, it's not really a direct true connection between a creator and their fans. It's not really a subscription.
And that's why I like streaming. That's why I moved to streaming. It feels so much more personable, and it feels like the people who follow me and subscribe to me, like, will see my shit. Because when you subscribe on Twitch, like, you just get notifications, right? I feel like Twitch is way more about the streamer audience connection and like making content for my audience rather than YouTube, where you have to make it to appease the algorithm. Real life Rachel Think episodes 3 months. And which is why I enjoy streaming a lot more as well, because streaming feels like I can make stuff for my audience instead of trying to make stuff to appease to these billions of people out there that I have to try to break through this fucking glass dome and then get past all this garbage to actually get noticed. You know what I mean?
The channel of distribution is broken, and it creates another
Zero,
problem
for the
around
prime.
creative freedom.
Oh, you
because now suddenly
converted
my
a prime to a tier 1. Thank you.
post has to be better than the other posts according to a set of criteria that I don't know or have control of or even agree with. So instead of thinking, what do I want to make? What lights me up? What is the output that I want to create as an artist? What will my fans love? Instead of thinking about those questions, now, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what will the ranking algorithm favor? And that, subconsciously or consciously, changes my creative output to achieve the platform's goals, not my goals as a creator.
Yeah, oh my, dude, that is so perfectly said of what I've been dealing with. Like, oh my God, that sums up everything I've been dealing with lately. Wow. That's why it's not fun to make YouTube videos anymore. It's not fun anymore. Because now I have to trend. I have to appease an algorithm. I have to make sure I have the right metadata, the right thumbnail, the right this and that and that and this. It's like, I fucking hate it. It's all formulaic now. It's not creative and it's not fun. That's for sure.
The primary goal for almost all social media platforms is to make money. The primary means of achieving this goal for most platforms is through advertising revenue. And the primary means of generating, sustaining, and growing ad revenue is by attracting as many users to the platform and then keeping users on the platform as long as possible. At the scale of major social media platforms, algorithmic-based ranking feeds seems to achieve this the best. As a result, algorithms have increasingly taken control over what we see and the direction in which online media and content goes. We are thus being increasingly led by these algorithms with no clear aim in terms of benefit to the individual or culture at large. The cause and end game are merely profitability. Of course, algorithms are not inherently bad, and they can provide great opportunities for things like discoverability for creators and consumers. Furthermore, pursuing watch time and algorithms isn't inherently always bad either, as it can be useful for improving one's work. But a major problem is, under these conditions, one of the forms of media and content that prospers is either full-on spam or media that has a flavor of spam to it. In order to appease algorithms and either forge or maintain a career in social relevance.
I can see Mr. Beast in there. Mr. Beast is a prime example, which is why I've complained about it for so long, way before Mr. Beast got exposed, which is why Jacksepticeye called him out a long time ago and everyone was like, oh, Mr. Beast is such a great guy. No, he's fucking horrible for the platform, and people like him are horrible for the platform because they are pushing forward that algorithmic thing. Because Mr. Beast doesn't look at it as a creative outlet. Mr. Beast looks at it as a business, as this formula is what the algorithm wants right now, so I'm going to do this formula, right? And that's what a bunch of huge YouTubers are doing. They're just using the exact same Mr. Beast formula, which is a genuine thing because I've literally talked to my manager and people higher up on the YouTube totem pole, and they all agree. There is a term that goes around called the Mr. Beast formula. And that is what loads and loads and loads of YouTubers use. They are stealing, not really stealing, but they're using what Mr. Beast is doing and just copying and pasting that because it works, right? And it fucking sucks. And for creative people out there, it is just not the same anymore.
Relevancy, creators might change their content format, category, or topics from what they are primarily interested in to what's popular and what works, often leading to blatant copying, repetitiveness, redundancy, dumbing down, carelessness, or excessively frequent posting. Otherwise, they might risk inevitably being overlooked by the algorithms and forgotten by anyone who is not in their most core audience. These problems of fake traffic, algorithmic disconnect, and spam media have only become increasingly worse with the introduction and mainstream use of generative AI. Now, AI models can message humans in chats and message other AI models, create digital art and video content, create and manage digital profiles and stores,
Which is another extremely depressing thing that's happening for creative people.
determine and execute purchases and economic decisions, as well as innumerable other unbelievable and world-changing acts. But now, humans are less and less involved. Hence, the internet is, at least in the way it once was, dead. In its wake, a new sort of internet is emerging. What this new form will ultimately become, how it will feel, what help and harm, positives and negatives it might cause, will only be known in time. But what does appear to be certain is that AI is only going to get better, and the problems of disconnection, fakeness, and spam-like media are only going to get worse. Of course, generative AI is not all bad, and there are countless great applications for it, both currently and foreseeably. But if we are not careful, more than anything else, our digital diets will continue to become unhealthier and unhealthier. It will be increasingly difficult to hear and make sense of anything, to want to hear and make sense of anything, to find and get what we want to order. It is not hopeless.
AI also needs to be regulated. You should need to get a license in order to use AI when you're using it to make money. Yeah, that is another huge problem that no government official is taking seriously, is regulations for AI generated content, because it is a genuine problem and is going to get, I mean, it already is out of hand, but it's going to get more and more out of hand as time goes on. The internet is all we had left. What do we do? How do we exist if that was the only input we were given? I mean, it won't be. Like, I mean, the whole point of this is saying that eventually, like, humans are just gonna like give up on the internet and just go back to just living life, right? Which obviously won't happen for everybody, but that's basically what it's saying. Is that basically the internet is just going to become all bots all the time, all AI, no humans left, you know?
Though.
Which honestly wouldn't be that bad. For me, it would, because the internet's my job, but you know.
Hopefully, in time, there will be reasonable
I guess I'm not like the internet, I guess. It's more of entertainment. You know what I mean?
regulations around AI and internet media. Hopefully, new technologies will also help mitigate against some of the existing and forthcoming problems and execute effectively on reasonable policies and cultural expectations. If history is to be considered, it seems that this is certainly on the table of possibilities. But of course, if history is to be considered, regulations and new technologies designed to restrain bad actors and bad technologies are always, at least a little, behind the people and technologies they are designed to catch. Perhaps in some sense, at least for now, it is up to us, creators and consumers of content, founders and users of platforms. There is a famous saying that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. A more up-to-date version of this might be that we are the average of the 5 creators and 5 content categories we spend the most time on the internet consuming. Arguably, now and into the future, making decisions about what we do and engage with on the internet will be as crucial as the decisions we make regarding our friends and associates. Of course, in some sense, this has always been the
I'm
case.
big. Oh no, we're all big. That's true, chat. You guys are me. You guys are me. There are a lot of bots on Instagram Reels. I assume TikTok too. Yeah, there definitely is. And in the comments too. There's a shitload of bots in comments in Instagram, TikTok, all the other shit. It's like have you guys seen, like, I don't use Twitter anymore, but Twitter replies are just straight bots. Not only like just replies, but like they're bots as in bot accounts of just posting videos. Like you click on a video, the replies are all just videos of other accounts posting videos on replies of videos. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like if Elon Musk didn't take over, there probably would have been something put in place where they wouldn't allow that. But, you know, Elon kind of just is letting X, Twitter, turn into whatever the fuck. There are reels that have recipes in the info title of the video. Yeah, I've seen those too. I don't understand that. I never understood the whole recipe on the random video thing.
And determining what media we consume has always been crucial. But crucial is a spectrum, and now it is highly. Ultimately, who cares if the dead internet theory is true or not? Who cares if the old internet is dead or not? What matters, arguably, is whether we can and will sustain what matters in new ways in the new conditions of the world and technology. And what matters is what matters to us, our humanity at its truest and deepest levels. As humans, we want to create, communicate, and connect with each other, unabridged and unbridled. We want reasonably healthy and sustainable relationships with others, with ourselves, and with the networks of the world, both physical and digital. We want honesty, we want genuineness, we want symbiosis, we want prosperity. The internet is and can still be a place where this happens. Of course, there will always be the spam cafes, and spam will likely find its way on most menus, and most of us will likely indulge in it on occasion. But like everything else, with discipline, hope, and effort, we can still eat healthy diets. We can still build beautiful restaurants.
Like watching me.
And eateries and communities with minimal spam
Right,
on
chat?
the menus. We can still break bread together in meaningful ways. In the words of Conti, the hardest lesson I have learned as a creative person and as an operator and CEO over the last 10 years is to know and trust what I want and to be true to that over time. It's easier said than done, but don't let somebody else tell you what you want.
Don't
Because
Pepe
then you'll
cringe
end up
me.
with what they want instead of what you want.
How do we know you're not a bot?
On a somewhat more direct, hazardous level, one problem area where spam inevitably shows up for all of us is
Sponsor?
junk messages.
Okay, well, it's ending on the sponsor. I'll skip to the code.
And of course, as always, you will plan. These companies inevitably lose. Click my link in the description or go to
Incogni.com/pursuit of wonder.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.